Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. We're past these buttons and we're gonna go down below. Once again, we have a row and then colon MD6. Well, I'm using colon MD6 here for the add new account place where you can basically see add new account. Why is it colon mid MD6? Half of the screen, half screen size. That's basically, well, not half screen size because we're using this container, but just half size. Let's go ahead and describe it as such, because as you can see, it literally takes half of the width of the container size. If we use container fluid, it would actually be half the screen size then. Okay, so this entire form, this input form, is half of the container width. Okay, so it's colon MD6, add new account, and now we have something new here. It says class equals form group. So we would like this to be in one group, which will be detached from the group down below, and in turn will be detached from this group down below. What am I doing here? Well, see title. So the input field for the title, it's in one group. And then you go to another form group where you have description, and then you go into another group where you have balance. And as you can see, title, and then you input a title here, and then you have a different group, which is description, where you can type in a description, and that is basically what Bootstrap does, is separates these two a little bit and styles them as well. So no big deal there. If we go a little bit further down below, you will see that we also need to state form control in order to state that this input should be styled with the Bootstrap as well. So you get some nice things. You see, it just looks better in general. But we have plugged in some of our own styles. So just to before I leave this file, if you go from here, so look, this one, and this one, they are the same, just for different inputs. That's all that there is to it. But we have created some of our own styles, and if we go into CSS, app.component.css, for .acc, you have border bottom, and it's 1 pixel, and it's solid, which means it's not interrupted. It's one line around. And the padding you already know, the background color you already know, but why are we stating border bottom here? And look down below, it says .acc colon first child border top. Well, okay, let me just go ahead and zoom in. We don't want each one of these to have a top border. We want only the first one to have the top border. You can see it. If I move the mouse away, you can see that there is a very thin black line across the top. In fact, border top, I don't know, we can do something crazy like this. As you can see, the border is a lot thicker. And we only want the first child to have the top border, because all the other ones, we want them to have the bottom border, so that in between them, we wouldn't have double borders, which would look kind of stupid. So only the first one will have the top border, and the other ones will have the bottom one. So let me just go ahead and state that this is basically one. So it says first child, the first one that's going to be displayed there, will have the top border. Everybody else, including that first child, will have the bottom border. So that's very useful for us in terms of styling. And .acc colon hover, it means that basically we have a background color every time we move our mouse over it. So here, it's green. It's painfully green. And then you have the form down below, which is the last one, our input form. It's just giving it a margin, and then the border, that you know. But border radius, what does this mean? So it says 4 pixels. That's the curves. Let me just zoom in further. And as you can see, the left and right border, the borders to the top left, these ones from the input form. the borders of the entire form, they have a curve. They have a slight curve around the edges, which is really what we want. So if the border radius was 0, we obviously wouldn't have any. Well, if we could then just delete it, basically. Anyway, we go back to the app component, and here we have the very last thing that we're going to do here. It just says another form group. We're creating another form group for our button, BTN success, BTN and BTN success. So BTN success is basically the create that's green in this style, in this theme. It's going to be green. In some other team, it might have a different color, but that's all we're doing here. We're just using the button class, and then we're stating which color we want it to be. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna go ahead and move onwards in the follow-up tutorial.